What's up everybody, Sean here and thank you for joining me. Today we have one of the most anticipated releases of the year, the new Orient Bambino 38mm. Now the Orient Bambino needs no introduction. It is one of the most popular entry-level dress watches around. One major criticism that it has had over the years, however, is that it did not come in a more traditional dress watch size, as they have always come in over 40mm. That has finally been addressed with this new 38mm model. Now, some of you might not agree with it being one of the most anticipated releases of the year, but I'm pretty sure that for Orient Bambino fans, and probably even holdouts, that this is the watch they have been waiting for. Just to clarify, I received this watch as a token for some freelance work that I did for my local dealer, and that work had nothing to do with reviewing this watch at all, nor am I even obliged to review it, so rest assured this is entirely my own opinion as always. But before we get on with the review, let's do a quick wristwatch check, and I am wearing the all-new Orient Star Diver 1964 2nd edition. Yes, Orient has been putting out quite a few new models lately, and they've just announced a few more models in the coming months. Safe to say, I will be reviewing this new Orient Star, so please subscribe and hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss that. And back to the review. So we have a case size of 38.4mm, a very short lug-to-lug distance of 44mm, and a very standard lug width of 20mm. Thickness is 11.6mm. It may sound a bit thick for a dress watch, but we'll get into that later on. Case is made of stainless steel, and we have a domed mineral crystal on the top and a snap-on display case back. Inside this is the F6724 automatic movement, which features hacking and hand winding with a power reserve of 40 hours and 21,600 vibrations per hour, 22 joules, and a water resistance of 3 bars. Recommended retail price is 353 Singapore dollars, but you know that most places will probably give you quite a good discount on that. So a bit of an overview, the Orient Bambino is now into its 10th edition. This time they have finally heeded the calls of Orient Bambino fans and critics alike and produced a smaller 38mm version. With the smaller case size also comes a few welcome design changes that we will talk about in a bit. This new series comes in 4 variations: the classic beige dial with blue hands in a stainless steel case, a black dial with silver hands and markers in a stainless steel case, and 2 white dials, one with silver hands and markers in a stainless steel case, and another with gold colored hands and markers in a gold tone stainless steel case. All models come with a matching leather strap. The one that I am reviewing today is the very neutral white dial version in a polished silver case. Now the first change you'll notice about this watch is of course the main feature, that 38mm case, 38.4mm to be exact. This size is right in line with the general perception of an appropriately sized dress watch, and I find that hard to disagree with. Especially for someone like me with 6.25-inch wrists, this is a very comfortable size that easily fits within my wrist and under my sleeve. Like we mentioned earlier, 11.6mm may sound a little on the thick side for a dress watch, but like the previous versions, this watch wears much thinner than the number suggests. That is because a large portion of that thickness is being contributed by the domed mineral crystal. The case itself is a much thinner 9mm or so. Coupled together with a very short 44mm lug-to-lug distance, this is the Bambino that Bambino fans have been waiting for. Like previous versions, a mirror polish has been applied to the top of the lugs and bezel while the sides are straight brushed. This version also features a polished exhibition case back. Because of the smaller case size, Orient have opted for a snap-on case back instead of the usual screw-on case back. Despite this, we still get a 3-bar water resistance rating, which is adequate enough for a dress watch. On the top, we have the signature domed mineral crystal, which gives the Bambino line its classic vintage aesthetic that it is known for, and an appropriately sized push-pull crown completes the classic look of this watch. Now the dial is nothing short of impressive, especially for the price. It combines some of the best elements from the previous versions to produce a stunning yet simple and classic look. We start off with a curved white sunburst dial that gives it a somewhat linen textured effect. Then we have applied stick markers which are mirror finished and a beveled date window at the 3 o'clock that takes up approximately half the marker. Simple mirror finished dolphin hands and a very slender seconds hand extend perfectly to their respective hour markers and printed minutes on the chapter ring. At the 12 o'clock, we have a downsized Orient crest and text which scales very well in proportion to the 38mm case, giving the watch a very elegant and minimal aesthetic. A similarly sized water-resistant text is printed at the 6 o'clock. Of course, since this is a dress watch, we do not have any lume on the dial, and rightly so. Inside it, we have Orient's in-house caliber F6724 automatic movement, which is part of Orient's modern line of movements. It features a hacking seconds hand and the ability to manually wind it. The biggest aesthetic gain that you'll see for the movement in this watch is in how it has a much bigger presence when viewed through the case back due to the downsizing of the case around it. Here, you get to see a movement that fills up the space within the case much better along with a decorated Orient rotor. In practice, these movements are very practical, offering a power reserve of 40 hours when fully wound and an accuracy of -15 to +25 seconds per day. The piece I have here runs very consistently, like all the other Orients I own with similar movements, at approximately +15 seconds per day. Moving on to the strap, Orient leather straps have received a fair amount of criticism in the past, especially on their earlier Bambino lines, but I do feel they have improved the quality of their straps in recent years. Though not the greatest, the provided leather strap on this Bambino is pretty decent and not something that would have you rushing to swap it out immediately. The brown leather strap has a matte finish and a crocodile pattern applied to it. And we also have a signed buckle on the end, which is always nice to have. Now this one didn't require much breaking in for me, and I found it pretty supple and comfortable for what it is. While I do think a glossier finish might have been a better choice, the 20mm lug width makes finding replacement strap options very easy to get. So final thoughts on this watch. Despite it being one of the most popular dress watches on the market, the Orient Bambino's Achilles heel has always been its case size. Although it did take a while, this has been solved as Orient has finally heard our cries for a smaller case size and given us this very well proportioned 38mm Bambino. I also think that their choice of dial design has been very well selected to serve the widest possible market across just 4 models, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Orient adding even more dial options to the 38mm line in time to come. And that wraps it up for this review. If you liked it and would like to see more like it, please give me a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one.